Kia ora. My name is Todd Funk, and I put together a PowerPoint tutorial using the Office 2016 suite. I've done this specifically for the international students that come to Children's Bible Ministry New Zealand from Africa, India, Asia, and other places. They come for 16 weeks, and part of the course is to help develop PowerPoint. I hope you enjoy and get a lot from this. This will be the last you'll see my face. Otherwise, it's going to be the PowerPoint and the keyboard. Okay, as you can see, I've already got a PowerPoint presentation opened up, but I will show you how I've done that. I go to my next screen. At the bottom of your screen, the bottom left, that's called your Start window, the four little bars. Click that, and a menu will pop up, and you will be able to click PowerPoint, Microsoft Office PowerPoint. So here's our first slide. Before I get into the slides and adding slides, we'll start at the beginning and talk about the terms. These are called tabs. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at least 9 tabs. Some of you might have a few less, some a few more. You can add more tabs. Underneath the tab, this is the Home tab. This is called the ribbon. Everything is grayed because there's not a whole lot you can do right now. If I click in here and I add a title, PowerPoint tutorial, and then a subtitle, hope you like it. Now you see I've clicked into this. These become active. It means I can change things up. Before we talk about changing things up in the Home tab, we'll just show you the other tabs. Insert tab. It obviously, you're asking it to insert something, and there's lots of things you can insert into a PowerPoint. Videos, audios, objects, charts, graphs, photos, pictures, etc. Design, you're telling the PowerPoint what kind of design you want it to be. Clicking over all the different options. These are kind of old. I wouldn't use any of these. Now, your other tabs are your transition tabs. It tells you how you want to go from one slide to the next. If you want it to fade or swipe or split, we'll go over those later. Animations is, do you want anything to be moving around in here? Your slideshow options are here, review, view, etc. So again, these are the tabs. This is the ribbon. Now you wonder, well, how did I get all these in here? Let me just delete some of these, and I'll show you. Go to the Home tab, and the easiest way is a new slide. Now you'll notice this is your title slide, number 1. Number 2, it's a little bit different. Okay, slightly different. You can add a new slide underneath that. Okay, is your text there. With this in the ribbon, you've got a drop-down arrow, and it will allow you to add lots of different kinds of slides, like a blank slide, or you can add a comparison slide there, or you can add a picture with a caption slide. You can also duplicate whatever is here. For instance, if you go, let's say this 2 content slides side by side, you can go to your keyboard. I'll show you some shortcuts. Control D, that'll duplicate anything you want, or Control M will just give you another slide like you got. So here's number 4 is blank, 3 is there, 4 is blank, 5, okay, there's 2 contents, so we'll duplicate that. Alright, so I'll hit my Control Duplicate, and there we have it again. Boom, boom. I'll go down to this one. I'll duplicate this. I'll hit Control M. I've got another slide. These two are the same. Okay. By the way, your duplicate will duplicate anything you want. I can duplicate this picture. Control D. Now I've got 2. I don't want 2 though, so I'm going to get rid of that. There we are. Now, how do we add text to the slide? And because this tutorial is geared more towards beginners, I won't take anything for granted. You can click in the box and just put whatever you want. Type it in. Tutorial. Click down here to subtext. Hope you enjoy it. Now, of course, just like with all the Microsoft Office suite, you can cut and paste whatever you want. Come down to this slide that's already got things. So let's say I want to copy this, all of that. Go up here, hit copy, or I've also got the option to right click on my mouse and there'll be a copy option there. I don't think it shows up in the tutorial. Let's say I want to bring this up and I'll put it on the next slide there. Okay, so I can come up here and hit the paste, and you can see how very tiny that is. That's very small. I would never put that much text on a PowerPoint slide. People can't see it. It's meant to be visual. PowerPoints are meant to enhance your presentation. It's not the presentation. It enhances it with points, not a book or a miniature book. If you're putting in paragraphs, you're putting in way too much. So if I wanted people to see this, I would actually get rid of, delete. There we go. Even that is a little bit much. I can hit a backspace there. I would probably click this box and I would get rid of this box, delete that. I can grab this and drag it up a little bit. Maybe I can highlight these things, and under the Home tab you've got these options here to increase your fonts. I've got to make this box larger, this text box larger. There we go, and I can increase fonts. I can change things to different colors under the Home tab in this ribbon. I can make it red if I want, or I can make it blue if I want. However it'll most stand out to my audience. These allow you to make things that are bold, if you want it bold, or underline, excuse me, italic or underline. But we'll get rid of that and that. You can even shadow things. But there you go. This is how you change your fonts around. You can also, right now, it's Times New Roman. That's what this is. But you can change this font to be whatever you like. Anything funky. If you want something funky or funkier, let me go up here. About 28 days later, it's kind of a, I don't know, a bold looking font. You can go online and get special fonts. Just type it in Google, and if you know what it's called, there's Angry Bird fonts and your favorite cartoon or Transformers the movie. If you like that font, you just type it in, and there's usually free downloads for fonts there. It's easy to do. Now let's go to the Transitions tabs, and I'm going to move these up so they're visible. Right there. I'll drag this up so it's visible because I want you to see something. So let's say we want different transitions to, for the second slide. Let's say I want that to push in. There we go. Third slide. Let's say I want it to reveal. It'll look like that and reveal it. The fourth slide. Let's say I just want it to flash in. Boom, just like so. The fifth slide. I've got all these different options for the PowerPoint. Now, one word of caution with transitions, just like anything else, you can overdo it. Too many transitions or too many different colors or too many different effects will become distracting rather than helping people keep focused on what you're saying. So let's go to animating things. To animate things, there's animations. Click your animations tab. Animating things means to make them move around, bring them alive. Now, the bar is all grayed out because I haven't told it what I want it to animate. So let's say I want to go here to this slide, number 3, and I want to bring all this in, or I want to bring something in. So let's see if we can animate it. Let's fly it in. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, when I animate like that, it'll fly in, or if I want them to float in, it will come in gracefully and slowly. These are different animations, or maybe I want them to split in. Okay, there's lots of ways you can bring things in. I can do this to the text, and then when I click each line, it'll come in like that. I can animate, you see my keyboard down here, like this, as long as I click it. If I don't have anything clicked, the animations tab, the bar is gray. But if I click it and say, okay, what do you want to do with this? Well, I can make it fade in, yeah. And then if I also want it to fade out, I click it again, and I want to add more animations. The reds are the exits. I want to fade out. And that's what it's going to do. When it clicks in, it's going to fade or whatever I told it to do in. And if I click it again, it'll fade out. So let's click my first one. Let's say I want it to fly in. I can have it fly in from whatever direction I want. Top left, it'll fly in here. I want, oops, sorry. Nope, don't want to do that. No, it's hard using this big mouse. Fly in from the right. Boom. So the animations allow you to fly things in, and you can also control how fast it goes. So let's say we want it to come in really slowly. Instead of a half a second, let's go for 3 seconds. Okay? Now, a word of caution, again, with too much animation. You can have too much of a good thing with things flying in and flying out and flying all across the screen. You don't want to be distracting. Now let's go to our Insert tab, and we'll start inserting some things. Let's start with a picture. Let's say I want to insert a picture. So I hit Picture. You can't see this, but it's just taking me to my pictures, and I will double click on the one I want, and you'll see a very funny picture of a tongue hanging out of an apple there. Now you'll notice that the apple is in front of the text. If you right click on it, I don't know if it's going to show up in the PowerPoint, but you will have some options that'll say bring to the front or send to the back. So I will hit send to the back. Boom, now it's behind my text, right? It's behind my text if I want it there. That makes it easy. I can also insert all kinds of other things. I can insert, well, let me show you how to insert a photo album. So if you hit photo album, it will ask you, it'll pull up a box and it'll ask you, where do you want to find this from? Lots of people like to insert videos onto their PowerPoint, and you can do that. Let's get a blank screen down here. I hit video, and I can ask for some online or videos on my PC, and it takes me to different folders. You can't see this. Let me go to videos. I double click that, and I've just got a little video that I can play if I like. Now I'll pause that, and you'll need to know, again, this is format, but let's go to animation. I'm talking about that. I click that. Animation. Do I want it to start when I click this, or do I want it to start with previous? And something about PowerPoint 2016, it's a trigger thing, because you're going to say, well, when I clicked onto this slide, it didn't automatically start. Make sure you go down, and this is unticked, right? Triggers on the click of, nothing. I shouldn't have to click anything. And of course, the same thing holds true when you want to insert an audio. It'll ask you, is it on your computer? You can even record the audio, just if you have a microphone built in, which most modern computers do, you can record your own audio for that. One thing I almost forgot to mention when it comes to inserting sounds, if you want footsteps or people screaming or car screeching or children playing or a hawk screeching or any sound you want, there are lots of free online sound clip areas. Sound Bible is one of my favorites, freesound.org, sounddogs.com, and there's others. You can actually hit Google Sounds and have free sound downloads. So just click on one of these links and you get free downloads. Just search whatever sound you want and they'll have it. Now I want to say something about pictures and editing pictures. Let's take this, get this out of the way so I can grab that, and I will copy this. Okay, copy. I'll take it down here, and actually, yep, I'll take it down to that one, and I will paste. There we go. Okay, you can resize pictures by dragging their corners. You do not want to try and drag the edges because it distorts the pictures terribly. Right? You can make it longer. You can put a picture of yourself and make yourself thinner if you'd like, but just saying, only if you're dragging down there. And you've also got the option of, you see format, you can tell it how big or small you want. By clicking these buttons, it'll change the dimensions there. You can also hit the crop button, and you can crop off different parts of your picture. Okay? One of the cool things about 2016, Office 2016, again, when I click that, I'm on the Format tab. It allows you to do lots of things with pictures. You can play around with the corrections, and I can, right now, I'm right in the middle, but if I turn it here, I can make it a lot brighter. If I go back the other way, I can make it dimmer. I can go up and change the brightness and the contrast, and I can change lots of things about it, but we'll just leave it. I can also add different colors to it. I can make it more in the green, or I can color it, make it blue. I can color it, make it black. I can color it whatever I want it to be, even kind of this black and white thing. You can see that it allows you to do a lot in changing the color with that. There are also artistic effects that you can see. I can do all kinds of different effects and make that crazy apple looking all kinds of different things. But I'm going to go backwards. I don't want to do that. And then lastly, something that's kind of cool that allows you to do a little bit of photo editing if you want to remove background. Okay, when you say remove background, I'm going to make this box a little bigger. Whatever is in purple is going to get cut out of the picture. Okay, so this pretty much cut everything out of the picture, but let's say there was something I wanted. I want to keep something. I just draw a line into what I want to keep. I want that leaf. I want this entire stem. You can see it animated. I want this back in the background there. These are things I want to keep. I even want this white thing here, we'll say. There, and here I want this white thing. I don't know if you can see this very good, but you can add and delete, tell it what you want it to get rid of, and tell it what you like. And then when you click outside, boom, you've got just the parts of that apple or whatever picture you're dealing with. You've cropped it all up. So let's say I don't like it, so I want to reset picture. Again, I'm in Format. I have clicked on the picture, reset picture. It goes right back to where it used to be. So that's a pretty cool function of Office 2016. If you want, you can frame the picture up with any kind of frame you like. Up at the top there. You can have picture effects over here. It's fun to kind of just play with the different effects that you can have, different glows and different tints and highlights and reflections. You can make a reflection down below the picture. You see that? As it's changing there. Lots of different things you can do with the pictures. Something else that you will want to do is format. Okay, you want to go to design, you want to format the background. I mean, white on everything is a bit boring, so you can hit this tab, format background. You can fill it with whatever color you like. I could make a black background. Or if I wanted, I could do a different color background. They've even got, for the coloring, if I wanted, watch this eyedropper. I want it to be the same color as the tongue. No, I want it to be the same color as the apple. You can change it around. But you can format it with a gradient fill. In other words, it's going to, lighter and darker and add different gradients on that as you move it. You could even make a picture background or texture. There's different textures you can go in the background. You can do pattern fill, all the different kinds of patterns that you would like. There's a lot you can do, but again, sometimes less is more. I tend to go with either a white background or solid black background. It tends to pop out and have a cleaner look to it. You can also go with different levels of transparency. I'm playing with the transparency of the background there. Lots you can do there. But that's how you add and change the background to your pictures, to your slides. One of the things that is crucial that I forgot to bring up early on, like the first part of this presentation, is to save it. Make sure you're saving your PowerPoint early on, because if it crashes, these do have an auto save function, but they're not always that reliable. So hit the file and hit save, and you save it where you want. But you know, there's something else that's kind of cool. Let's say I want to save this to my desktop, and there's my desktop. You can save it under many different names. This is the tutorial, but also different options. You can make it for an older version, so it will play on older PowerPoints. You can do it as a PDF. You can do it as a PowerPoint enabled, macro enabled show. Just lots of different options here. But one of the things that I think is pretty cool, a JPEG. You can save the slides like they're pictures. For instance, if I do that and I call it that, I'll hit save, and it's going to say all or just this one. I just want to do the one that's there, and it will save this picture on my desktop as a JPEG. I'll see if I can go get that to prove it to you that it really did. So I'll grab this blank slide, I'll click on the blank slide, and I will drag this over. Boom, there we go. And that is a picture. Let me make it show up. I will show solid fill, black. There we go. So that took that slide and it made a picture out of it. A JPEG picture. That way when you move part of it, you can move the whole thing. It's not the best quality in the world, but for our presentation here, it'll do just fine. Hope you've enjoyed the presentation, and practice, practice, practice. Play with all of these different options up here in the different tabs and the different ribbons, and you'll have a good time with it.